Hey everybody, before we get started, I just want to remind you that my original graphic novel, Malevolent Rising, is still available on Indiegogo In Demand. I'll put a link in the description. It's 156 pages of original story and art, and I hope you check it out. Now, on with the video. So remember a couple of years ago when Marvel threatened to unleash the new Warriors on us? They were just a bunch of weird, diverse, super woke superheroes that are going to be go fighting crime and keeping us safe. Well, they never really did happen, but it did leave kind of a mark on the comic book industry, and not wanting to be undone, along comes DC Comics. And DC's, wait a minute, we can do crappy comics as well. And so they gave birth to Teen Justice, the teenage superheroes of the multiverse. So Teen Justice is basically a bunch of gender-swapped Teen Titans characters, and we're going to go ahead and meet the team individually because they went ahead and gave us these cool bios of the individual team members, complete with pronouns. So first is Kid Quick. Real name Jesse Chambers, pronouns they, them, their. Team affiliation Teen Justice, of course. DC's Very Merry Multiverse #1 is her first appearance. Jesse Chambers inherited their family's speed ability to channel the Speed Force by reciting the mathematical formula as shown below. I'm not going to recite the mathematical formula because I don't want to be absorbed into the Speed Force. And concentrating on the abstract concepts that it represents. So no more bolts of lightning or anything like that. All you got to do is memorize a math problem and you're the Flash. In their late teens, the Chambers finally took to the spotlight in the first adventure of Teen Justice, saving Gotham City and the world from a New Year's Eve invasion by the mind-dominating alien Starla the Star Conqueress. So a gender-swapped starfish. Aren't starfish both genders already? I'm pretty sure I remember my old biology classes. Anyway, that's Kid Quick. That is our speedster of the team. Next up is Aqua Girl. Real name Jackie Hyde. Pronouns she, her, hers. Group affiliation, of course, Teen Justice. First appearance is also DC's Very Merry Multiverse #1. The teenage protege of Aquawoman, Aqua Girl, has the weight of two worlds on her shoulders. Jackie's natural leadership skills also give her a special place in Teen Justice. And with super strength and the power to live underwater, at least they gave us some defined powers on this one. And the ability to discharge powerful bolts of electricity from her fingertips, Aqua Girl has more than enough power to carve her own path. She just has to decide where she wants that path to lead. So if she's powerful enough to be her own hero, why does she need a team? That's odd. Next, we have Clarion the Witch Girl. Pronouns are she, her, and hers. Group affiliation, of course, is Teen Justice. First appearance, also DC's Merry Multiverse. Young escapee from the other dimensional witch world, Clarion has tremendous mastery of dark magic paired with a deep curiosity about the world she now calls home. Clarion was formed a close friendship with teammate Kid Quick, despite envying how easily the super swift hero has managed to fit into a society that has not been terribly welcoming to the pale blue witch girl from another dimension. Well, also, you got the weird alien face and the Batman hair, so I don't think your skin complexion is the only thing holding you back, but let's move on. Next, we got Supergirl, Laurel Kent. She, her, hers are her pronouns. Teen Justice is her team affiliation. First appearance is also DC's Very Merry Multiverse. Combining the powers and abilities of her mother, Superwoman. What are those powers and abilities if I did not know who Superman was? With the dedication to learning the truth that makes her father, Lois Lane, one of the world's most... Oh, Lois Lane. Why couldn't her dad still be Clark? Oh, God. Sorry. Where was I? The truth that makes her father, Lois Lane, one of the world's most admired journalists. Laurel Kent embodies the best qualities of both her parents. Supergirl is happy to spend time with Teen Justice as a break from facing the awesome responsibilities that come with being the daughter of the world's greatest superheroine. So, in the case of Supergirl, her villains and her superhero life is so trying that the stupid adventures of Teen Justice are just kind of like her 15-minute break. Oh, wow. Okay, Laurel or Lois Lane. Next up, we have Robin, the brilliant daughter of Batwoman and Talia al Ghul. I'm detecting a trend here. The son of one of the Dark Knight's greatest foes, Talia Kane, is a Robin of a different form. Or different from all those worlds and wannabes who came before her. With incredible mental and martial arts skills reflecting both sides of her parentage, Talia's close relationship with Supergirl led her to Teen Justice, a team she'll be all too happy to lead from the shadows as long as Aquagirl and Kid Quick stay out of her way. Ooh, drama. Drama amongst those three girls. Next, we have Troy, our first male member. I hadn't gotten to his pronouns. Oh, good. They are he, him, his. So, yes, our first male member. Group affiliation, Teen Justice, DC's Very Merry Multiverse first appearance. The mentee of Wonder Man. Ooh, that's a Marvel character. Troy's background is a mystery. Is it, though? Have you seen he in Amazon? With super strength bracelets that confer a certain degree of invulnerability and a silver lasso that compels the truth, Troy's role is sometimes that of the muscle, but why wouldn't Superwoman's role be that of the muscle? But what seems to be a lack of intellect is actually a state of frequent distraction. Unsure of his past, he's focused on finding a stable future, one that lie with Teen Justice, perhaps the brooding and mysterious hero called Raven? Oh, gender-swapped Raven and Troy might be a thing. Now, they say his role is the muscle, but we've got a Kryptonian. And as I recall, Aquawoman's or Aquagirl, whatever her name was known for super strength too. So he's the third rung brick. That's that way. That kind of makes him just super redundant, doesn't he? And here we go. Here's Raven. Raven is pronouns he, him, his. Real name unknown. Isn't Raven's real name actually Raven? I thought so. A young hero. Oh, look at that. First appearance, DC Pride 2022 #1, not the Merry Multiverse. Okay. So if you're trying to get all these characters' first appearance for some reason, you'll have to look somewhere else for Raven. A young hero who has refused multiple invitations to join Teen Justice. Raven's powers are as mysterious as the teen himself. What little is known suggests a concept or a connection to mystical energies and an ability to see things others cannot. A romantic interest in the Teen Justice member Troy has brought Raven into close contact with a new team of heroes, but he remains steadfast in his refusal to join and even more determined to keep his reasons for not joining to himself. I wonder if he has a demon father. So, or actually, no, probably demon mother. Trigoness. So there we go. That is Teen Justice, the teen heroes of the multiverse. So if this begs me to ask the question of exactly what is DC doing? So all we're doing is just gender swapping characters and calling them original characters. You know, I remember it wasn't too long ago that DC did another event called Bloodlines. This is back in the 90s. And the entire event was built around the idea of introducing just a slew of new characters. And while I was remembering Bloodlines, I remember they did bios for the characters in Bloodlines very similar to the ones that we just saw for the Teen Justice. And so here's Hitman. He was a new character, one of the few that kind of survived. A lot of the characters, while cool, had very terminal case of 90s, so a lot of them didn't see their way out of it. Powers defined. His powers are easily defined here in his bio. In addition to his expertise with firearms, Hitman has various secondary powers, including X-ray vision and limited telepathy. Now notice a couple of the characters spelled out their powers a little bit. Aquagirl with super strength and electricity, but then when you get characters like Superwoman, it went a long ways to establishing, you know, who her parents are and a little bit about her personality, but it just says inherited the powers of her mother. Or Raven, his powers are very mysterious. Or Flash, she knows the Speed Force, has the Speed Force. If you don't know DC Comics, you don't know, or even the Flash specifically, you may not know what the Speed Force is. I mean, looking at her, you're kind of guessing she's probably a speedster, but they don't spell out exactly what their powers are. They're more concerned about their pronouns and their quirks and romantic links. Origin, a trained killer with a callous attitude, Tommy Monahan was set to hit a required mob boss until the parasite Glonth beat him to it. Glonth also spotted and attacked Tommy, who was holed up in a hotel. Luckily, Tommy was not easy to kill as the mobster, or as easy to kill as the mobster. Taken to a nearby hospital, he recovered with extrasensory powers and an even meaner attitude. Tommy is now the consummate hitman. So look at the bio. We know his powers. We know his origin. That's really what you want out of a superhero. Anything else, all the other things, who they're romantically interested in, what their motivations are as far as wanting to live up to their parents' legacies and all that, that's what you find out when you read the book. But the hook is, this is who the character is, this is his powers, and this is kind of a breakdown of their origin. Now, I poo-pooed the 90s earlier as kind of a cringy time, but they just did the DC round robin, and the winner by popular fan vote is a resurrection of one of the most 90s DC concepted characters in the history of time, which is the 90s Superboy, complete with his leather jacket, faded haircut, and little spikes on his shoulders with sunglasses. You don't get more 90s than that. If you want to see a character where they tweak something about them in a different reality, make them interesting, let's look at Red Sun Superman. They didn't change his genitals. They didn't change who he was or anything like that. All they did was change one bit of his origin. He landed somewhere else and was raised differently. And that asked the interesting question, what would Superman be if he didn't have the ideals of truth, justice, the American way put into him by his parents and wasn't raised with the upbringing that we knew he had on the farm? I mean, he became a despot. That's an interesting question. What if something different happened? Not what if Flash was a woman instead of a man. We already know what that would be. She would just pay 70 cents less on the dollar than the Flash, but I kid. Anyway, point is, there's a lot more interesting questions than just what if X character was male or female. So, but this is what DC is now. This is why DC is creatively bankrupt currently as a company, because all they're doing is they're taking established characters, tweaking the most superficial thing about them, their race or gender, and then putting them out there and relying on us to know who they are. They rely on us to know what the Speed Force is, to know that what Jesse Quick is. They rely on us knowing who Talia and Batwoman are so that we know what Robin's origin is, and that it's basically a girl version of Damian Wayne. So they're basically relying on the talent, creativity, and work of far more creative and better writers than themselves to then push these new characters on us, and it's just sad. And I'm not going to spend money on it. I don't understand why anybody would. We already have all of these characters with just a slight superficial difference of their genders and pronouns. So, and I mean, yeah, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's not an interesting question to me. If Donna Troy were a male is not a question that I wanted to ask. Now, if Donna Troy went evil, if Donna Troy was raised by Ares rather than Hera, something like that would have been a more interesting question. If Raven had been raised by the cult, what would she have turned into? Would the world have ended? Would the Titans be able to stop her? These are questions. These are taking elements of their origin and tweaking them to ask an interesting question. And you can make other changes as you want for the character through those lenses, but these don't ask any interesting questions. I don't need to just see a world where all the characters that are male are now female, and all the characters that are female are now male, and call that somehow creative, because it's not. So anyway, that's my point of view and my thoughts on Multiversity Teen Justice #1. So I want to know what you guys think. Is this something you're looking forward to? Is this something you even heard of? Somebody messaged this to me, and I kind of went down a rabbit hole reading an article about it. And yeah, I just was completely... I wasn't angry or anything about it. I just was completely uninterested because it's a completely uninteresting concept. There's so much you can do with the multiverse. Multiversity is such a creative and wide open space, and then this is the best they turn in with it. Out of all of the different versions of a multi-dimensional teen superhero group you could have come up with, this is what you bring us. Disappointing. It's disappointing in a waste of a good concept. So, but I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below if you're looking forward to Multiversity, if this is something you're gonna want to read or spend money on, and if not, let me know why either. Do you think these are interesting looking characters, or are you like me? It's like I've seen all these characters before. I don't see anything new here other than males and females trading places. So let's talk in the comments below, and when you're down there, please hit like, subscribe, share the video with your friends. It really helps this channel grow, and I'm going to leave it there. I will talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.